Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the vlog. If you're new to the channel, a big warm welcome. My name's Tristan Mortlock and this is Captain's Vlog. For those of you that don't know me, I'm a captain on a 37-meter motor yacht called AWOL. And what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be watching a YouTube clip about the TV show Below Deck. Now this particular clip is called Captain Sandy Yawn's Best Leadership Moments on Below Deck Mediterranean. So I'm going to watch the video and then give my opinion and my thoughts throughout. So I really hope you enjoy it. Alright then, let's see what we have here. There we go.
Your job's really demanding, so when you have time to rest, I want you to rest.
I intend to.
Come to me with any of your issues.
Are you the first mate?
And I'm the captain.
Okay.
Right, okay, so first of all, I have no backstory or no context about this. This person here is obviously got a job on board. By the sound of it, he's going to be the chef. And he had no idea who he was speaking to, so which tells me that the captain doesn't choose a crew. So in our case, in most cases, the captain with the management company and the head of departments tend to choose the crew. So this person, this individual, this chef, he offered the job and has said that if Captain Sandy is the first mate. So very bizarre.
You were the chief stew.
Female captains are rare.
But then he said, I thought you were the chief stew. So he first said, are you the first mate? And he said, I thought you were the chief stew. So maybe it was set up for good TV. I'm not sure.
So this happens often, and I'm not offended. If the food sucks, the charter sucks.
Yeah.
No pressure. I don't want to keep you.
Perfect. I apologize for misunderstanding your position on the boat. Pleasure to meet you.
Right, so Captain Sandy made a very good point. She did say if the food sucks, then the charter will suck. And she is, without doubt, 100% correct with that. Because when we all go on our vacations, if you think about it, most of us base our day around the food. Where we're going to eat, what type of food we're going to have for breakfast, lunch and dinner. So having a good chef on board is essential for a successful charter. And being a chef is actually one of the hardest jobs on board because you have to be consistently good. Every single meal needs to be perfect. So I agree with Captain Stanley about that. So let's crack on with it.
Got to. We'll see you soon.
Okay.
Captain Stanley's best
All right,
teaching
everyone,
moments.
welcome aboard Scirocco. I want to introduce Marius and Bart. Bart is our engineer. Marius is the chief officer. I have a reputation in the industry as a very successful professional charter captain, and you'll find that I'm not an asshole unless you don't follow the rules. No drink.
Okay, so she says that she'll find that I am a very successful charter boat captain. The reality is it's hard to say, I don't know Captain Stanley, but what I can say is every successful charter yacht isn't down to one individual, right? It's down to a team. And it is down to the captain to put that team together. But in this case, it doesn't sound like Captain Sandy has chosen her own crew. I might be wrong, I'm not sure. And kind of blowing smoke up your arse is not the best way to go about it. My approach to being captain has always been you earn respect from your crew. You don't order the respect. You don't demand respect. You have to prove yourself every time as the captain. And that's what I do on board, but every captain is different.
On charter, that's just not going to happen. I've had meltdowns, I've had fires, I've had pirates chase me. Any scenario you can think of has happened in my 27 years in this industry. I don't want to hear on my last boat, leave it on your last boat.
Yeah, I agree with Captain Stanley there again. We have over the years had crew say things like, on my last boat we did it this way, we did it that way. You know, if you're going to bring something to the boat that's going to improve the boat, that's by all means. But don't say, on my last boat we did this or we did that, because every boat is different, every captain is different, every individual or heads of departments are different. So I do agree with Captain Stanley about that.
That's it. So see those rocks? The person in the tender puts the chain around the rocks,
Okay.
feeds the line out as they drive towards the boat.
Perfect. Captain Sandy pulling off this maneuver so early in the season is quite intense, but I think she wants to see how far we can push ourselves. Sink or swim sort of scenario. Get out there, do it. Let's see who you really are.
I'll rod that one up there.
Right in there. Is there a little rock you can tie onto?
Yeah, copy that. We've seen one.
Drop the anchor.
Here we go.
So we want 5 shackles in the water.
Copy, 5 shackles.
Once we set up,
Wow,
it's
that
pretty
anchor is
epic.
way too quick.
Slow it down. Stop, 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 stop. Just a bunch of chain dumping on the bottom. So controlled descent.
Okay.
Okay, so basically the advice that Captain Sandy's given there is absolutely correct. So the deckhand, I suppose, is letting the chain down. He's dropping it too quickly, and the vessel won't be reversing that quick. So what happens is you'll get a big pile of chain on the seabed, which is really bad. You want to let it out nice and slow, and ideally at the same speed as the vessel once the anchors hit the bottom. You should know when the anchors hit the bottom because the captain will tell you the depth that we're in and by the shackles that you've let out. But the way she's given the order to the deckhand, she's very professional. She's not barking orders. Very cool, calm, and collected, which is good.
Okay, start letting out some more chain.
How many shackles are in the water?
The third color on there.
Yeah, no. 2 shackles out.
Another shackle, another shackle. Anchor down, anchor down.
What? Oh, so are we still doing 5 shackles? This is starting to turn into a freaking math equation. Copy, another shackle going out, total of 3. I'm just stressed out.
Yeah, so obviously there's some sort of confusion here because he's clearly has no idea how many shackles he has out. So what we do on board super yachts is a shackle is a little over 27 meters, and what we do, we paint each shackle a color, so then when we're letting out the chain, the individual that's dropping the anchor knows how much chain that we've let out. But in this case, he seems to have lost count.
Because I suck at math. 3 shackles out. What the f?
We hit bottom.
How's the chain look? When you're looking over, is it taut?
I got a problem with the windlass here.
So what's happened here, he's clearly come to the end of the chain. So what we have on board, all vessels actually, is when you've reached the end of the chain, so it's called the bitter end, you have a rope attached to it, which is then attached inside the anchor locker. So in case of emergency, you can cut it. But as you saw there, he was dropping the chain pretty heavily, and it kind of, luckily it didn't snap, because if it was to snap, it could have caused some damage, or it could have hurt somebody. So how that happened, I don't know. I'm sure about to find out.
Is it stuck?
No, I got cable.
Oh, we're out of chain?
There's no way.
Are you fucking kidding me?
So immediately Captain Sandy knows that we're out of chain, and he just said there's no way. Well, there is way, because you're at the end.
That, it's over for us.
You see, guys, this is why it is so important for the captain and the crew to hire the crew. The captain to hire the crew, because this maneuver is exceptionally dangerous. And if you've got somebody who doesn't know what they're doing, dropping the anchor, they can cause themselves some serious harm or damage the vessel or, damage the seabed. So I don't know why this guy's dropping the anchor, how he let all the chain out. I have no idea. I don't know what's going on here.
Saw red go out. What the hell is this?
Is it stuck?
I got cable.
Oh, we're out of chain?
There's no way.
At the end of every chain, there's a rope tied to it. You can cut it in case of an emergency.
You dropped too much.
That was
Exactly.
the red paint.
I don't know a lot about yachting, but I know When you see the rope at the end of the anchor, you're definitely
Can we pull in on this one?
Oh, yeah, I haven't done it yet.
I want to.
All I want to do is impress the captain, and I just did the.
I like how the music, mate, they dramatize it, all the music and stuff. The reality is, now that this has happened, it's happened. There's no point crying over spilt milk. What you need to do now is start again, and if you can, start recovering the chain. Get the chain back on what's called the gypsy. But obviously, for TV, they want to make it a bit more dramatic.
Worst screw up you could ever do. The starboard side windlass will not pull chain in.
Engineer to the bow.
Never, ever try to impress the captain. That is your last priority. Your first priority is to remain safe at all times. And be brutally honest. This guy has let out too much chain. He's made a mistake. Acknowledge that you've made a mistake. Inform the captain straight away, saying, Captain, I'm so sorry, I lost count. Because she had to come to the bow to realize that they've come to the bitter end of the chain. So this is why communication and having a good crew is so important. And by the looks of it, it seems like it's this guy's first time dropping an anchor, which, if it is the case, there should be a senior person with him to teach them or to make sure they're doing it correctly. But I'm guessing again it's good TV.
Engineer to the bow, please. Bummer, huh? When you looked on the starboard side, was the chain like this or was it just up and down?
After ran on chain?
Yeah.
I don't remember because I've been going back and forth. Oh, what's crazy is I mean, the lighting was bad, so I must have saw orange and thought it was red.
I don't rule by an iron fist.
The lighting was bad. Are you kidding me? Just this is like when you start lying, you need this is the beginning of the end for me as a captain. If the crew member turns around and says, look, I made a mistake, that's fine, because over the years I've made mistakes. We all make mistakes, but it's how you learn from that. And if you're gonna lie and then come up with silly excuses, you really will go down in my books. So at the moment, this guy, I don't even know his name. I don't think he'll last 5 minutes in AWOL, to be honest with you.
I'm not going to get down on Bobby. He already knows he screwed up. So after this charter, we'll talk about it. All right, guys. I know you...
So what Captain Sandy has said is that she doesn't rule the iron fist, nor do I. I like to understand when things go wrong, and I want to make sure the crew learn. But she just said she's going to talk about it after the charter. So I don't know if the charter's finishing that day, but I would want to talk about it almost immediately while it's still fresh in his head and address the situation straight away. Because if you kind of let it go for too long, they will just start thinking, oh, okay, so it's not that big of a deal. It is a massive deal what he's done. It's a big, big deal. Because if that line was to snap, not only could they have injured themselves or damaged the boat, they could have lost the chain of the anchor, depending at what depth they dropped the anchor. But I would address it immediately. I would have said, once the vessel is secure and it's safe, I would have called him to the bridge to have a debriefing.
Work hard, but, you know, we came across a lot of challenges. I just want to go over a few things so we're smoother, because I want to be a pro. And I don't want any charter broker's client to go, the crew weren't good. That is not acceptable, ever. We're going to work on the anchor count. You know, one shackle's 27.3 meters. If I say it's 60 meters, how many shackles have to... Anyway, we'll get the anchoring down. We'll get the stern chutes tying down, and we'll figure it out together.
So, what's up?
You know, in my career...
You see, this can be a bit confusing. I don't deal in meters when dropping anchor. I only give them shackles because there can be confusion, which I understand. That chap did actually get quite confused. You know, not everybody's good at maths. Stick, you know, to one form, either shackles or meters. Don't do both because there will be confusion.
I observe, if you don't have a great leader, then you don't have a great crew. You carry a presence that you know what you're doing, but yet you have that elegance.
Oh, thanks. That's really nice.
I'm serious, I'm not making it up. You have to give yourself credit because you perform an amazing service. I'm impressed.
I was not expecting this at all, but I'm going to take it where I can get it. Thank you.
And we have the same color eyes.
Yeah, we do.
So we definitely have some areas.
Right, so this, as a captain, she did a very good job there, Captain Sandy, is every now and then it is important to let the crew know if they are doing a good job, that they are doing a good job, to help boost motivation, to help boost morale, because one of the captain's duties is to keep the morale at a high, even during those long charter seasons. Is a simple thing like a thank you or you're doing a fantastic job, well done, can really make the biggest difference. So hats off to Captain Stanley for that one.
Areas we need to improve. Last night, when we go to drop the anchor, we dumped it all out. We're out of chain?
There's no way.
So we're gonna definitely learn a slow and controlled descent. Bobby knows he made a mistake. I'm not gonna come down on him. I'm gonna make sure he drops the f***ing chains until he gets it right. The last shackle is red. That means stop. That red shackle needs to always stay on deck. Say it's 60 meters. You know that one shackle is how many meters?
So, 98.
No,
27.3 meters.
27.3 meters. So we'll practice some anchor.
One shackle, 98 meters. You see, I know he's trying to impress, and he said he wants to try and impress the captain, but guessing is a no-go, because if you don't know what it is and you guess correctly by chance, you could make a mistake in the future. Why doesn't he just say, "I'm really sorry, I don't know"? A captain would prefer that a million times over. If you don't know, just say that you don't know. It takes time to learn these things, you know. We don't want crew to impress us. We want them to be safe.
I'm not good with my meters.
You guys will work on your meters.
Sandy's not like all other captains. When you screw up, she doesn't yell at you, but you feel it. It's way worse.
We'll get more efficient. We're gonna make it happen. What do you think about taking it off the dock today?
If that's a possibility, I'd really love that, Captain.
It's a possibility. You're gonna do everything from the lines, you're gonna give the commands. Putting Wes at the helm, purely selfish. It's gonna show him the amount of responsibility that I have. Get the stern line out of the water. I never want a line in the water. Is that stern line laying in the water again?
Bobby, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
So when he can think about that stern line being in the water, he's gonna get it out faster. And I'll be right there.
Oh, amazing. Thank you so much. Guys, just a quick one. Please call distances. I'm going to be driving us off.
All right, you got this. Don't forget anything.
All right.
Good luck.
I'm super stoked that Wes gets to take the boat off the dock, but I can't help but...
Okay, so obviously they had an issue in the past with the stern line being in the water. The reason any captain won't want any lines in the water is you run the risk of the ropes getting caught around the props, which you can imagine is going to be a very, very bad situation. So what Captain Sandy is doing in the situation is putting this particular crew member in her position, so he knows what it's like to have the line in the water. Now, you know, I think it's probably not the right approach. I think it's important to teach crew ship handling, not to prove a point, but just to teach them in general, because one day these crew members will move up to captain. Let's see how he does.
Do we need to get like one of those signs that say student driver on the yacht?
Just let me know when all lines are in. Bow lines are in.
All right, last line coming in. Starboard forward.
Starboard reverse.
Wrong direction.
You gave it too much throttle. I'm gonna show you. Ready? Watch me. Click. Now watch. Click.
This turn's about 30 meters. We're clear to swing around.
Now you could basically drive it out. Good.
So that was actually very impressive. So Captain Stanley was by his side. She wasn't panicked. She was very cool, calm, and collected. When she took command to show him, she made it very simple to teach him what he needed to do in order to maneuver the vessel off the dock. So good job.
Good job.
Do you mind if we hop in the master?
Not at all.
Thank you. I just want to kind of give you the heads up of what's going on about this charter guest that just left, Jason. We had kind of an instant connection. Obviously it's a charter guest, so I try and keep it professional while he's on board. On late shift, he pulled me aside up here and kissed me. And I did kiss him back for 2 seconds, and then I went like...
Wait a minute. It is not cool to respond if a charter guest hits on you.
Right. I'm not sure what it's like on other yachts, but in our case, under no circumstances can a crew member get involved with a charter guest. It's an absolute no-go. It's part of the crew contract and codes of conduct on board, which can lead to immediate dismissal. Let's see how Captain Sandy handles it.
Wow.
He kind of messaged me on social media, and we were texting yesterday.
No matter what happens on charter, how many times a guest approach you, you cannot cross that line. I don't care who approaches you and wants to kiss you. You do not allow it to happen. You have to use your common sense. Just maintain your professionalism.
Yeah.
Going forward, you're not on late. You're gonna put bugs on late, and then this is not up for discussion. To make sure that this scenario doesn't happen again, I'm taking Hannah off the nights so the temptation is gone.
Thanks, Sandy.
That's a good call from Captain Sandy, taking it off nights. So there's no more temptation. But like she said, under no circumstances does the crew get involved with the guests.
Hey everyone. So with us, we have Chief Engineer Marco. The second engineer is Dimitro. The chief mate is Elliot, and they've all been on this boat for a while. I'm just gonna go over the pleasantries first. Standing orders. Address me as captain in front of the charter client. Smokers. I don't want you smelling like smoke in front of the guests. Uniforms. We don't change the color. Anchor watches. No cell phones in front of the guests. We'll read this within 24 hours. Guests are not here to make friends with us. When I wake up thinking about you, it's not a good day for you. This season, I will not be taken advantage of. Just don't ever be my first thought in the morning, because that's usually your last day on the boat.
Sandy is not f***ing around this season.
Adam?
So, no, interesting approach. I know where she's coming from. She's coming from her 27 years of experience of dealing with people's crap, so to speak. And I get that, I get it. And you get to a breaking point where you just won't tolerate people's crap anymore. And this is exactly what she's doing. She's basically laying down the laws. Every captain does it in their own way with their experience and knowledge. And that's where she does it.
Doesn't eat duck.
What the f does she eat? It just defrosted that on the fly. She ate shrimp. I can saute up some shrimp. I have that, no problem.
Shrimp. You like shrimp, right?
No, she doesn't. Chicken.
Oh, chicken.
She wants chicken.
Yes.
No, I don't like chicken.
What do you want?
Oh my God, I swear to God.
What do you like?
You have to express yourself.
You're a powerful woman.
Do you want lobster? There's more lobster.
Without the crab stuffing. She likes lobster, but
Okay.
I hate chicken. Why do they fill out these fucking things?
Lobster without the crab. Who told you she didn't like seafood?
When we did the lobster bisque, I said to her, is there a reason you're not eating it? And she said, I don't like seafood.
I don't like to complain.
The fact that you're not saying anything is making it worse.
What is her preference?
Her preference sheet says she
Can
likes
I have
lobster.
that? Because I'm going to give it to her.
Yes! High five! It's like taking the dog and shoving it in its own poop so you get him to stop shitting in the house.
Dislikes. I don't really like eggs.
Do the lobster.
I never even said anything. I never
So I have it. I see it with my own eyeballs. These guests are impossible. So I'm going to defend my crew. You actually have shellfish on here.
Yeah, I do like shellfish.
Oh.
Fish for you?
You actually have shellfish on here.
Yeah, I do like shellfish.
Oh.
Sorry, you just said you didn't eat seafood.
Yeah.
I never, oh my God.
You did say that. We don't know what you like, so.
Stop talking about my eating.
Hannah.
So, yeah, just so you guys understand, so before a charter starts, we send what's called a preference sheet to the guests, and we ask every single guest to fill it out. Most of the time it's filled out by one guest, but occasionally you do get all guests filling it out. And basically it says on the preference sheet the food and drink that you like and that you dislike. Now, when I speak to charter brokers, we stress every single time the importance of the preference sheet, and the more information that the client can give us, the better time they're going to have on board. If you have a weak preference sheet, you can't expect the chef to magically guess what it is that the guests like. So this is a classic situation. We've been in this situation before. Actually, this happened to us last summer. The principal guest said on the first meal they wanted something really simple lunch. They wanted burgers all round, and the chef's like, okay. So he made a bunch of these beautiful homemade burgers with fries and salads and all bits and bobs. And as all the food came out, you know, it was him. There were 6 guests in total. It was him and another. 2 of them, of the 6 guests, wanted the burgers. The other 4 didn't eat meat. So imagine how frustrating that is for the chef, because he would have done all the provisioning based on the preference sheet, and nobody said to him that they didn't eat that particular type of meat. So how can the chef guess that? And this does happen more often than not, unfortunately. So for the brokers and charter clients watch this, I stress the importance of the preference sheet, because we can't stock everything. We're a boat, we're not a restaurant. Anyway, let's carry on.
What? Are you not happy?
No.
With the interior?
I'm just getting a little frustrated that we give her rounds of applause in tips meetings when she's lied. And
we're not going to bring up her resume. Well, find something else, Hannah. I'm not going to have the...
First of all, smoking on board on my boat is 100% no. If you're caught smoking, it is immediate dismissal, no question. I don't know why we have crews smoking on the bow. That is so unprofessional, and it shouldn't happen on any vessel.
This conversation about her f***ing resume. You can't tear someone down and tear them down and tear them down and expect them to do a good job. Only thing I see is her every morning doing her best to get breakfast out and seeing her put 150% in with a good attitude. Hannah needs to take it and create what she needs with Casey. Okay, have a good rest of the day.
Okay, so this clip was about guessing the 2 stews, the chief and the second, not getting on. And it does happen. It happens on all yachts where sometimes crew members will clash heads. So what I do is, if I notice there's a bit of an issue on board, I will call each crew member to the bridge, and then the 3 of us will have a conversation. I will say to one crew member, okay, you speak first, you tell your side of the story, and then they'll finish their side of the story, and I'll let the second person talk, and with no interruptions. And then I would say the majority of the time it's a misunderstanding and we resolve the situation. And you do that by communicating. This is why I keep saying multiple times that communication is key to running a happy, successful charter yacht.
Is Conrad on break?
With Hannah, yeah.
With Hannah?
Yeah.
Isn't that convenient?
Oh, I'm so tired. I'm gonna have some sleep.
Yeah, I'm getting for a nap.
If they're going to date and they're department heads, they need to actually think about this logistically. Maybe we shouldn't take breaks together. Maybe we should have a little more discretion. You're senior crew. Act senior. That's not cool.
Hello.
Hey.
How you going?
Good. How was your day yesterday?
Good.
You have fun?
Yes.
Hey, I have seen everybody working but you this morning. Where have you been?
I've been a bit ill.
Are you okay?
No, Sandy, I'm not.
Okay. I didn't know you were ill. Why don't you tell me? What, did you guys all eat the same thing yesterday?
No. Jamie was ill before that.
Hannah, are you okay?
Oh, yeah.
Should you go to the doctor, honey?
No.
You think you have food poisoning?
It's not food poisoning, it's anxiety, Sandy.
Are you and Conrad okay?
Yeah, I can't, I'm struggling a lot. I'm falling in love with him. And when I fall in love with men, I go away from them. And I can't get away from him without quitting.
Don't quit. Don't run from love. Wouldn't you rather experience it than not know?
Yeah.
So with couples, it's a difficult one. She's falling in love and she's having an anxiety attack, but yeah, it's a difficult one. It's people on a boat in small spaces. You know, things like this are going to happen. The one thing I've noticed here is the state of the cabin. Do they not do cabin inspections on board? That is disgusting. Every crew member must make their bed every single morning when they get up, and that is just a disgrace. I won't allow that.
I want you to just rest.
Okay, thanks, Sandy.
Mila, please come up to the bridge.
Oh, this is bad.
Captain.
Hey. So, your attitude has been amazing. You have passion in the galley. I can see it.
Of course I do.
Of course you do.
Hearing from Captain Sandy that I have a great personality is very pleasant. I really want to show you the third charter that I can do it. And I want to not do any buffets even for lunch. Only plated, wake up at like 4 or 5 and show you. I really want to prove you.
What do you think is gonna happen here?
We've all worked really hard to help her, so now there's no excuses.
You feel?
The chef is a chef, man. They have to be good or gone, just how it is.
As a human being, I have all the compassion in the world, but as a captain, I have to let you go.
But I've worked on boats this size. People who have their own boats and private planes were happy.
I'm really sorry.
Okay. Your decision is your decision, and if there is no chance, then thank you for your support.
Of
Really
course.
appreciate it. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, so what happened? This lady basically was asked to leave, so she's been fired. By the sounds of it, you know, her cooking's not up to scratch. I've had to fire a number of people over the years. It is the worst part of the job, but at the end of the day, it's your responsibility to ensure you're providing the best possible service for the clients and that your crew are being safe as well. And one thing I did notice there, which was quite you can tell that Sandy's done it a few times before, is at the end, Sandy, it was silent and she stepped forward to say, okay, it's time to go now. And that's kind of a good sign for body language to say, right, you know, we talked about it, it's time for you to leave. I don't know, go back and watch that bit. You see how Sandy steps forward towards her to encourage her to leave the bridge. But it's very difficult firing people. You know, unfortunately, over the years, I've had to ask people to leave that are, you know, providing for families and whatnot. But it's my duty to make sure we're running to the best possible standard.
I hired Mila because she was cordon bleu trained. I'm looking forward to witnessing you create these amazing meals.
This is for the guests.
That's what the guests are eating? The nachos look terrible. You gotta make them something else. I just couldn't keep Mila because she's a liability.
So yeah, I could see why the food did look pretty terrible. So guys, that is the end of the video. If you work on yachts, let me know what you think in the comments box below. Was I fair or was I a bit harsh? Let me know. I do understand that these TV shows want to get viewers, so they do make a lot of situations a lot more dramatic. My biggest surprise is that clearly the captain doesn't employ the crew. My other surprise is they're allowing green crew, by the looks of it, to drop the anchor, and that's I think that's a 47-meter Heeson. So it's a relatively big piece of kit and very dangerous. And also I was quite disappointed to see the senior crew, I think that was the chief stewardess, to kind of break down and falling in love with one of the deck crew. You expected more from the junior crew, not the senior crew, but we are human, I get it, at the end of the day, and if you're attracted to one another, you're attracted to one another. But you know, one thing we don't want as captains is that we employ people to help each other, to help run the boat. And this is why a lot of boats don't accept, you know, you can't sleep with each other or fall in love with each other on board. But the way we've done it is over the years is that we've employed established people working already that are in a relationship, that have, you know, experience on boats before. But it's a tough one, I get it, it's a TV show. How realistic is it? It wouldn't happen on AWOL, put it that way, those kind of things. And, you know, sorry to see the chef. I mean, the photos of the food looked amazing, but then you saw the actual food she was producing. It kind of, you know, you have to ask yourself the question, you know, how truthful was her references and her CV. Anyway, guys, I really hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, because it really does help. And if you haven't done already, do consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss any future fantastic videos. If you're interested, actually, we are offering you the chance to win an all-inclusive week's vacation on board Motor Yacht AWOL here in the Mediterranean. All you got to do is go to the link in the description, click on it, and then just follow the application and buy your tickets. I wish you all the best of luck, and I look forward to seeing you all next video.